50 crazy facts about rock music everyone should know. Nine Inch Nails' Trent Reznor was the final resident of the infamous 150 Cielo Drive house before it was torn down. The house was the site of the Manson family murders of Sharon Tate and her friends. Reznor recorded most of his career-defining album, The Downward Spiral, there. Tom Petty was so popular, his record label wanted to charge $1 more for his 1981 album, Hard Promises, than the standard $8.98, but they backed down after he threatened to name the album $8.98. When writing Paradise City, members of Guns N' Roses had to vote on the second line because Slash wanted it to be where the girls are fat and they've got big tits. In 1957, Little Richard saw a bright red fireball flying across the sky, which he took as a sign from God to repent from performing secular music and his wild lifestyle at the time. The fireball actually was the launching of the first artificial Earth satellite, Sputnik 1. Carlos Santana believed he was contacted by the angel Metatron and told how to create his next album, Supernatural. Even though he was probably on acid at the time, it went on to win 12 Grammys, including Album of the Year, went 15 times platinum, charted at #1 in 10 countries, and sold 30 million copies. On August 26, 1990, Stevie Ray Vaughan described a disturbing dream to his bandmates in which he witnessed his own funeral. The next day, he tragically died in a helicopter crash. Doc McGhee, longtime manager of Bon Jovi and other popular bands, was convicted of trafficking 40,000 pounds or 20 tons of marijuana. After John Bon Jovi penned a 6-page handwritten letter to the judge, McGhee only received probation. The Animals frontman Eric Burdon claimed he inspired the Beatles' line, "I am the Eggman," after telling John Lennon about his fondness of breaking eggs over naked women's bodies. Radiohead frontman Tom York is on the cover of an Iranian sex manual. In 1968, Elton John attempted to take his life but was discovered by Bernie Taupin. Upon finding Elton's head in the oven, resting on a pillow with the gas on low and all the windows open, Bernie couldn't stop laughing. This event inspired the hit single, "Someone Saved My Life Tonight." When Grateful Dead singer Jerry Garcia died, an autopsy was done. In his large intestine, the medical examiner found a bottle cap, a pipe screen, a mascara brush, and a small brass key. Johnny Winter's manager had been slowly lowering his methadone dosage for 3 years without Johnny's knowledge, and as a result, Johnny was completely clean of his 40-year heroin addiction for over 8 months before being told he was finally drug-free. Keith Relf of the Yardbirds, the band that featured Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, and Jimmy Page, died of electrocution from an improperly grounded guitar. Chris Cornell wrote Black Hole Sun after the tune just came to his head while driving at 4 a.m. He wrote it down and polished it in a span of 15 minutes and wrote the lyrics the next morning. James Hetfield of Metallica went to rehab in 2001 because he was addicted to chocolate. In 1990, Chuck Berry was sued by 59 women because, at his Missouri restaurant, the Southern Air, he had had hidden cameras installed in the ladies' room. He managed to avoid charges and paid out a settlement of $1.2 million. In 1973, the members of Led Zeppelin gave drummer John Bonham a Harley-Davidson for his 25th birthday, which he promptly rode up and down the hallways of his hotel, causing thousands of dollars in damage. The next day, he wrote a check for the damages and said they can keep the bike. Joe Strummer married his first wife at the age of 23 after he was paid $120. She was a South African woman who needed a marriage to obtain British citizenship. He used the money to purchase his signature Fender Telecaster. The founding members of the Allman Brothers Band, Dwayne